What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here, and welcome back to the Career Mode today, here for Season 3, Episode 7 for the Canadian Grand Prix. And off the back of that retirement in Monaco, the disastrous race went from bad to worse, pretty much from lap 1. And, almost went well, but in the end, retiring, pretty much retiring, finishing 18th out of just 18th in the end. So yeah, we've had a poor race in Monaco. Hopefully we can come back in Canada, one of our strong races, and get some much needed points. We've lost the lead of the title at the moment to Lando Norris. Max Verstappen's third and Leclerc fourth. So it's looking very much a battle between McLaren and Red Bull at the moment this season. Butler's on his way back up as well, but he had a difficult time as well in Monaco. So signs are good for McLaren. They've brought some strong upgrades here. So it's our work. We got our work cut out today if we want to beat the McLarens, but it doesn't look too favourable because McLaren is much better than any team at the moment, and we still are struggling to bring a few upgrades in. But hopefully this track is a track where I go well round. So here we go into qualifying, and we're on our last lap now. We're currently P3. So provisional P3, Hamilton doing well in the Mercedes, which hasn't really hit the heights this season like it did in the previous two seasons. So now we're up by a tenth already on our previous lap. So we're looking quite strong here, and we just need to keep going on this lap. And hopefully we can fight for pole position because those McLarens are looking very strong. But again, a surprise to see Lando Norris nowhere near the top half of the order. So I don't know what's gone on there. And yeah, there we go. And there's been a bit of a problem with the... With the footage. As you can see, the upload studio is fairly useless, and unfortunately you can't see the lap unfolding as it is right now. So it is what it is. It's what I have to deal with on this sometimes. So at the moment you're just seeing, or just hearing the audio footage but not seeing it because of how unreliable the upload studio on the Xbox is. Hopefully soon enough, when I get a better laptop and things like that, I'll be able to do my recording onto there instead of having to put up with such unreliable stuff. But now we come around the final corner and we are purple in sector 1. We have got a green sector 2. Are we going to be able to take pole position? And did we take pole position or not? Yes, we did. And a fantastic lap then. And we've taken a pole position in a Red Bull car, which is probably second best in McLaren at the moment. So we can hold our heads up very high. Hamilton getting ahead of Devon Butler in the end. And our teammate is down in 6th. Lance Stroll doing very well at his home Grand Prix, where he normally does well. But in 1 out of 21 races all season, he does do well in. And Lando Norris down in 17th. So I don't really know what's going on with Lando Norris in qualifying. He just can't seem to get it together in qualifying for whatever reason. The championship leader down in 17th. So it was very weird to see why that is happening. But we are not going to complain. That's basically one less challenger for us to put up with. We've got Butler at the front, Verstappen a little bit behind us as well. He'll be a little bit disappointed with his qualifying. But here we go then. Here is the grid order then for the Canadian Grand Prix. And on pole position for the first time this season is me, alongside Lewis Hamilton, the defending champion, looking to do well. Butler third ahead of Sebastian Vettel in the mediocre Ferrari. Stroll in 5th. Verstappen will be disappointed with 6th, I think. Weber 7th ahead of Perez, and then Ricciardo as well. So Racing Point looking good. Albon 10th, Leclerc ahead of Russell, Sainz, Danny Kvyat, Lando Norris up to 15th then, because Bottas had a penalty in 16th, Giovinazzi, Hulkenberg, Magnussen and Gasly also suffering a penalty in the end. So a few penalties there for a few drivers. Luckily we haven't had to take any yet, although that could be something that has to happen later on in the season. But at the moment though, we're starting from pole position, no cars behind us, so hopefully we can lead into turn 1 in first place as the lights go out and we go straight away to cover off Hamilton, and a move that's done very well for us. But there you can see Butler on the inside taking full advantage of that. Perhaps we defended off the wrong car there, but we lead the first few corners in the lead of this race. Hamilton fights back and takes P2 again. Butler and them are going to wheel as we go through to turn 3, but we lead the race, and look how much time we gained there just from those two battling. So that is very handy for us as now we come through the first sector of this race, and running wide, making a mistake early on. It's just very unsettling for us. We do not want to make mistakes in this race. If we want to win this race, we want to retake the lead of this championship. But Butler wants to get his foothold in this championship as well after a disappointing start to the season. He almost takes the lead of this race. We fight back on the outside. Can he make the move first? Yes, he can. He gets ahead of us. There's yellow flags behind us. I don't know what's happened there. Hamilton's now fighting to get past us. We've had a poor start to this race then, losing position to Devon Butler, almost losing the position to Hamilton there. But can we fight back on Devon Butler and retake the lead of this race? Right now, But yeah, a poor start there. We lost the position to Devon Butler. That is exactly not what we didn't need to do here, and it's cost us dear. But now getting a little bit of slipstream. Can we get close to Butler in the chicane to make a move? No, but can we get a good run off the exit of chicane? Yes, we can. But side by side with Devon Butler towards turn 1. Can we get past him into turn 1? We're on the inside line. Surely we're going to get past him. Yes, we can. We retake the lead then, and happy days. Hopefully we can take hold of that lead and keep in the lead now. But here's a replay then of the start. As you can see, we moved over to defend from Hamilton, but that allowed Devon Butler straight into the lead almost in turn 1. But he decided better of it then, and we retook the lead. Hamilton then retook second place, and moving up to turn 3, Hamilton had the inside line. I thought he was going to be able to take hold of that position, but on the outside, on the exit of that corner, Butler managed to get the better exit and charge into P2, as we had to end up settling for P1. But there you can see, running wide, and that cost us dear in the exit of that corner, because Butler got the right launch on that corner and managed to get past us on the inside, which, well, that ended up allowing him to get past us into this corner. We tried to fight back on the exit, just as he did in turn 3 to Hamilton, but we were unable to do that. There's yellow flags behind us. We'll have to see what happened there in just a moment's time as well. But you can see Hamilton on the outside. You can see Lance Stroll, of all people, on the inside there as well. And he was unable to get past us. But here is what happened then. It's my teammate Max Verstappen on the inside of Sebastian Vettel. Free abreast into that corner. It doesn't work. And Verstappen spinning round and into the wall there. So he may have picked up front wing damage, reversing back into last place. So Verstappen with the problems of Verstappen, one of the championship rivals, has had a nightmare in this race. So gutted for Max Verstappen. We're in P1 in this race. We've just set a purple sector as we head through there. But you can see Devon Butler trying to get past us again, where he got past us on the last lap. And indeed, it looks like he's managed to make it stick this time on the inside. We were unable to fight back, and Devon Butler retakes the lead of this race again. So it looks like it's going to be a huge battle between myself, Butler and Hamilton for this win in this race at the moment. It looks like Stroll's dropped back a little bit, potentially. But again, can we get a launch on this corner on Devon Butler? Or are we going to have to watch out for Hamilton trying to attack us as well? So now we got a little bit of slipstream. No DRS enabled yet, as we're only on lap 2. Can we get past Devon Butler into the chicane? We're looking very close. We're looking to go down the inside, then to the outside. He defends in the middle, and we're unable to get a move there. But now we get a good exit out of the final chicane again. Can we get past him into the first corner? We go to the outside. He's on the inside this time to defend. Can we make the move stick? Yes, we can. We retake the lead again then. So an awesome battle unfolding here between myself and Devon Butler. You can see there's actually a few cars behind Hamilton and then Stroll, and it looks like Vettel's doing well, but Verstappen setting the fastest lap of the race then. So Verstappen really has cost himself dear here, because he's got some true pace in this race. As we run through the next few corners now, DRS is enabled, so we're going to have to watch out for Devon Butler. Is he going to be able to make a move yet again on this corner? This time we go to the inside, he goes to the outside. Is he going to be able to make a move, make a stick again? Still, this time we end up giving him enough room, but again, with this time we come out on top and we keep hold of that position. Can he get through into this hairpin though? Is he going to make a move there? No, he isn't. We defend again on the inside, but now we're going to be very vulnerable to DRS attacks from several cars, and Devon Butler is going to be one of those. Hamilton, is he going to be able to make it past though? Can we keep hold of this lead? We've not got the pace that we thought we had in qualifying by the looks of it at this moment in time. Butler goes to the inside. Is he going to be able to make that move stick? We keep it in on the inside. We keep hold of that position. So now we're keeping hold of that lead. We are hoping to keep hold of this lead now. Hopefully we can actually pull out a little bit of a gap now to Butler. We got half a second gap to Butler now crossing the line, but we just can't seem to pull out a gap, and that's keeping him very close and interested with that DRS. We're just unable to pull away from Devon Butler. Hamilton as well, keeping in there as well, so he's doing very well in this race, and that Mercedes that's nowhere really near the top two teams, especially in McLaren as well. But we set the purple sector 1 there, so hopefully now this is going to look good. We can be able to pull away from Butler and maybe have a nice win, but I don't think Butler's going to be saying anything to that. He's got DRS still. He's closing in on us again, which is going to allow him to close in on us properly as we run wide. And look at that, we made a mistake on the curb, and that's allowed Butler to get a launch on us. Is he going to be able to make it past into the hairpin? Yes, he is. Hamilton's there too. He's on the outside. He's going to make it up into P2, and that mistake cost us dear. And now we're going to have to worry about Lance Stroll potentially. Can we get back past Lewis Hamilton? Because now we're down to P3 after making a mistake on the exit of that chicane. And Lance Stroll now looking onto the outside. He wants a podium in his home Grand Prix. Is he going to be able to make that happen? He's on the outside. Is he going to be able to make the move stick? No, he's not. That's the fact. And we end up getting a launch back on Hamilton as well there. and now back up into P2. So just looking like we're about to lose P3 to Stroll. We've managed to regain P2 on Hamilton, getting a good exit out of that final chicane, which we've been able to do so many times in this race so far. And yeah, just seem to be able to do it so much better than the AI. And currently in P2 on lap 5, and Butler is now leading this race. Can he pull away now? Is he going to be able to pull away in that McLaren, which is the fastest car on paper? So he should really be going off into the distance. This is almost a repeat of last season when we were at Canada, and we were just in a strong P2 in the Alfa Romeo, but Hamilton was so far just so much stronger than us in that Mercedes, which was overpowered. But now we're having a level fight with Hamilton, but his car is still a little bit behind ours now, so it shows how Hamilton is doing very strongly in that Mercedes at the moment. And you can see Devon Butler over a second away from us already, so he's managed to pull away, and that's really unfortunate, and it is not looking good at all for us at the moment in this race. So maybe that P1 is starting to fade away in this early stage of this race, unless we can have a better pace on the second stint, or whether Butler runs into some problems. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, Butler's looking very strong at the moment, and yeah, we're not looking so strong. And well, we actually set a purple sector 3, but that's allowed us to close back in on Butler. But yeah, Butler is looking very strong in the first 2 sectors. We're just able to get a better launch out of that final corner, which is making us a little bit quicker on that final sector. But at the moment, everywhere else on the track, you can see Butler is still pulling away, and we're not going to be able to make a move on him, because look how quick. Well, look, we're too far behind, I think, to make a move on Devon Butler maybe, but Hamilton is too far behind on us as well. So we just got to try to perhaps do something, maybe in the pit stops, or maybe just in the second stint of this race. Maybe on the medium tyres will be quicker, but at the moment it's not looking so promising here in this race. And Hamilton as well, he's following us behind, and yeah, going through the hairpin. Then we've set a personal best sector 2 this time around, but it's not going to be enough to get us anywhere near Devon Butler. We should have DRS, but he's going to be surely, even for the overpowered DRS on this game, it shouldn't get us anywhere near that McLaren. As we head towards the final corner then to start lap 7, we'll be pitting at the end of lap 7 as well, so we should be able to see whether he comes in on the same lap or whether he goes for an extra lap, which could enable us for an undercut. But here we go, we're going to look for a move on the inside. A very unlikely thing to happen there, but of course that exit we get on the last corner enables us to get a good launch onto the start-finish straight. We were unable to make a move though. We went a little bit deep on turn 2, and he was able to keep the lead of this race then. But now we're starting to put Butler under pressure, and there's a few yellow flags going on behind us. I don't know what that's all about, but Sergio Perez is out of the race, and virtual safety car is now deployed, so that's going to slow everyone down. And when we were looking quite close to Devon Butler as well, then we were unfortunately we cancelled out thanks to the virtual safety car, so we weren't able to make a move on Devon Butler, and now we're going to have to wait for the virtual safety car to go to attack him again, and again it's going to cancel out any possibility of overtake on the hairpin as well. So coming up onto the next DRS straight as well, and yeah, maybe we're going to have to see if we both come into the pits at the end of this lap, and hopefully we can get hopefully our pit crew can do a better job than their pit crew, or whether Butler carries on. We'll have to see as we come towards the pit lane now. Is Butler going to be pitting at the same time as us? And no, he carries on, so we come into the pits. Can we get the undercut done then? Hamilton carries on too, so now's a possible chance of getting an undercut working here. Can we make that happen? Come on, pit crew, let's see what you can do. Get on those medium tyres, and let's go. 1.8 seconds of a pit stop. That is very decent indeed. And now we're coming out of the pits. Are we going to be in traffic though? That could halt us any chance of actually getting the undercut working. Verstappen ahead of us then, so we're down into P18 out of P19. Hulkenberg, I think, has also pitted, so he's coming to the pits. Now we can see Verstappen ahead of us. Are we going to get held up by our teammate? Are we going to be held up by the rest of the pack? We'll now move on to the end of that lap, so we've not made up too much of an advantage to our teammate. Verstappen pits though, he's in the pits, and we're closing in now on Kevin Magnussen, who's our next target. What about Devon Butler though? What about Lewis Hamilton? He is actually coming out of the pits now. Where's Lewis Hamilton? Can we see him coming to the left hand side? He's actually behind us, so we stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton, which is ideal. We're provisional P2 at this stage. But what about Devon Butler? We're going to be losing several bits of time now, stuck behind Kevin Magnussen. As we were in Monaco, we were stuck behind Kevin Magnussen at one stage, but we're getting a bit fed up with seeing him at the back end of the Haas, and now we need to get past him immediately. if we want to take the lead of this race, because Devon Butler is probably gaining a little bit of time on us at this point. And yeah, this is costing us dear in this race if we want to get past Devon Butler. And look at that, there's cars ahead of us, Giovinazzi and the Renault, I think, and then Gasly as well. So they're holding each other up. You saw Giovinazzi lock up there. We go to the inside of Kevin Magnussen to make that move, almost running into the back of Pierre Gasly there. How slow they were going into that corner is just see how much time we're losing behind this traffic. And Devon Butler into the pits now, as you can see on the mini-map. We've got DRS though. Can we get past Gasly or Giovinazzi? They're fighting side by side. We're going to go 3 abreast into the final chicane. Can we get past them both? We've had to slow down a little bit as they both dive into the pits. DRS activated again. George Russell ahead of us. And as we move on to lap 10, but there you can see the McLaren of Devon Butler ahead of us, and you can see he's got past us, and we've got another car in between myself and Devon Butler, which is costing us dear here in this race. And Russell, our compatriot, also Butler's compatriot, is doing us no favours here. And look how slow he's going through the turn 3 there. So we're just looking for any possible way to get past him. We're going to have to do it here. We're going to have to get past him on the inside, and then now we can hopefully pull away and chase up to Devon Butler, who's now got an even bigger advantage than he did have before this all happened. And yeah, now it's looking very, very difficult for us in this race now. So having to push very hard if we want to win this race. But Butler is on the hard tyres, we're on the medium tyres. So if there is any pace advantage, we need to make it happen now, because otherwise Butler is going to be able to make those tyres last a little bit longer towards the end of this race, and then he'll be quicker towards the end of the race as well, whereas our tyres might fall away a little bit on the last couple of laps. So if we want to make anything happen, it's got to be now. We've got to get up to Devon Butler immediately. He's going to be a little bit slower on those harder tyres, and we're going to be a little bit quicker on these mediums. So hopefully we can get some pace, and now we can find whether we can actually catch up to Devon Butler with a little bit of clean air. He's now got a little bit of dirty air with a car in front of him. I don't know which car that is. I think it might be Danny Kvyat, the other Williams. So Russell's now pitted. I think Danny Kvyat will probably be pitting at the end of this lap. So thanks to the other Williams now of Kvyat, we're actually being able to close in on Butler, who's holding up Devon Butler a little bit here. And we can set a purple sector 1. So now our pace is starting to unfold in the second half of this race, and maybe the win is still on here, and then hopefully we can get past Devon Butler, who's getting held up a lot there by the Williams. So this is looking very promising now. All of a sudden, its race is taking a little bit of a turn in the last lap or so, thanks to the Williams, as we found some pace on these medium tyres. You see purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Can we get past Devon Butler now? Look how much we caught up in just one lap alone, with the DRS now going to be activated. Can we get past him into the final corner in the Champions Wall chicane? Can we get past Devon Butler? He's going to have DRS though off of Danny Kvyat, but that's not to worry. We're going to go through the final corner. He's going to get a poor exit out of that corner. We get a much better exit than him, and we're going to retake the lead of this race surely on the inside into turn 1. We set a purple sector 3, and for some reason not the fastest lap. Apparently we exceeded track limits somewhere, but Sebastian Vettel sets the fastest lap of the race as we take the lead of the race then, and we will now have a chance of getting 25 points and putting ourselves in the lead of the championship then after round 7. This is 1/3 of the season underway as well at this stage, so it's looking very promising for us for a potential title challenge if we can keep the car on the road, and hopefully we can now take the lead of the championship of this race, because Lando Norris is nowhere, Max Verstappen is nowhere, Butler is currently 5th in the championship. So at the moment Butler isn't our main worry as such in the grand scheme of things, although maybe later on in the season we'll have to worry more about Butler, but for now, like, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen are 2 highest rivals in the championship in a poor race, so this is a perfect chance to capitalise for both myself and Butler and Hamilton if there's any chance for Mercedes to come back. But at the moment we're starting to pull away from Devon Butler then, and this is the kind of pace we need if we want to win this race, because Butler may be coming back towards us towards the end of the Grand Prix on those harder tyres. As we now move on to lap 15, we've got the fastest lap of the race, so we're going to have an extra point at this stage, and now we're leading the race very strongly from Devon Butler, who's now 2.8 seconds behind, and we've got a solid gap with the last 4 laps of this race, and all we now have to do is just keep the car on the road and just set a fairly decent pace, and hopefully Butler will not catch us up. He may get within a second of us on the last lap or so if he's quick enough, but we should be fairly comfortable as we go through sector 2. We'll have a look at the second times we run a little bit deep, and it's still around the same sort of gap we have towards Devon Butler. So with just 3 and a bit laps left to go, we should be fairly comfortable in this race. It pretty much has to gain a second per lap now, and that should not happen really. Given the pace deficit at the moment, it's been fairly close. We go through the last corner and then we go into the wall and out of the race, and that's really curtailed any chance of us winning this race. And there you go, all we had to do was keep it on the road, and we couldn't do that. And we've run into the champions wall, and that's going to be 2 pointless finishes in a row. Let's have a replay of what happened there. We run through the chicane and we just, I don't know what happened. I think we just bounced over the curb. And yeah, here's a replay of on board. We turned in a little bit too early and then tried to turn out. It bounced over the curb. That unsettled the car majorly, and at that point it sent us aiming towards the wall. Tried to slow out of it, but there was nothing we could do there. We were a passenger at that point. We hit the wall and we're out of the race. And that's 26 points we've just thrown away there, and Devon Butler will be probably winning that race now. And just when I said that Butler was probably the one we wouldn't have to worry about so much at the moment, he's now going to be right up there between us, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, and he's going to be the one gaining the most points out of that. We've had 3 of us have had fairly poor races today, and Butler has managed to profit from that. We are looking so strong. All we had to do was keep it on the road, and we completely messed that up. Butler will be delighted with that. Although I'm sure the podium interviews, or the interviews that I'll be getting, would be the saying, "Oh, your former GP2 rivals up on the podium. How do you feel?" Oh, bore off those silly questions that they have on this game. Honestly, it's so tedious, but never mind. We now have a look. You can see Max Verstappen P8 in that race, so he recovered to 4 points, which is really nothing, and Lando Norris still couldn't get any points either in the end, so that was a waste of time for Lando Norris. And yeah, down in P19, and yeah, that's a disaster. And Verstappen got 5 points as well, as he did end up getting the fastest lap of the race in the end. But yeah, there you go. There's the championship then. We've fallen down to 4th. After that, Butler takes the lead of the championship. It was fairly close, I guess, but Butler went from 5th to 1st in one race. Norris 2nd, not scoring. So now Butler's the main worry for this championship season now. And as we look further down to the cars that haven't scored, Magnussen the only non-scorer so far. McLaren retake the constructors lead as well. So constructors battle is taking a little bit of a hit there as well for us. So we'll have to hold our hands up to that. But anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of the episode there. Hopefully I can get another one uploaded soon. It's just I've been able to get this one done. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.